Welcome back to Retirement Coffee Talk with Sharice Rivers at Zinnia Wealth. Online, zinniawealth.com. Zinnia wealth.com. Sharice, do you like an Oreo every now and then? Oreo cookies?
I will eat Oreos every day if I was allowed. Wait a minute. When Oreos are on sale at the grocery store, I'm driving 100 miles an hour to get there. Make sure I get my fair share when they're buy one, get one free.
Well, if you are an Oreo aficionado, you will notice that in the Oreo section, many times they have specialty Oreos, and they're out there for just a couple of weeks. So we have a little agreement here at work. If you see one of those packages, you buy it, you bring it in, and we all test it, and we all rate it, and we put it on our little list. Right now, we have 39 different flavors of Oreos on our list.
You have that many?
Yeah. Pretty crazy, isn't it?
Wow, that's amazing.
But I found out number 40. Here we go. Are you ready for the holiday Thanksgiving Oreo package here? You're going to see this. It's going to be a tin, and it's going to look like an Oreo. And inside, there will be 12 cookies. It'll cost $20 for 12 cookies. Why is this so crazy? All right. So 2 of the cookies are going to have the same deal. So you're going to get 2 dinners here. You will have a cookie, 2 cookies, one that tastes like turkey and gravy, another that tastes like sweet potato, another that tastes like cream corn. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Then we have apple caramel pie, pumpkin pie, and cranberry sauce. You have your Thanksgiving meal right there in an Oreo cookie.
I'm not sure.
Come on, Sharice, are you in?
For $20 and a cookie? I want my Oreo to taste like an Oreo. I don't want it to taste like turkey and gravy. For $20, 12 cookies? What?
I don't want to.
They could have said candy corn. They said cream of corn. If it was candy corn, I'm like, I might go buy that thing.
Yeah, but not cream corn. I'm not.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is a millennial marketing strategy, and actually, it's quite fantastic. I'll be honest with you. It's all about marketing because you know what? I'm probably going to go buy it. And guess what? There's yahoos like us all over the country talking about, can you believe this turkey and gravy Oreo? And now how many listeners? We got hundreds of thousands of listeners now across the country. And they're going to be like, well, Sharice is going to get it. I better just try it. So we're talking about it. And it's always the buzzword. So it's the buzzword. So they're going to sell the heck out of it. And then we're all going to dislike it. And then they're going to take it off the shelf. And then we're going to be back to our regular Oreos. So we're going to appreciate them. Like, oh gosh, the regular Oreos are back. Thank God. Let's go buy those now. There's a strategy here. These millennials are smart in marketing.
Sometimes the marketing is a little better than the product. And I got a feeling that is what we have here. So in everything that Sharice and I talk about, we bring it back to finances. And I know that there are things in the financial world that have been marketed that on the outside look pretty good, but then when you actually use them, maybe not so much. Can you think of anything like that?
Oh, there's a lot to talk about here, Randy.
All righty.
Where would you like me to start is the question. Well, I guess I could start with like funds, like mutual funds, target funds, those types of things.
I bet target date funds, because target date funds were marketed as they put a year on them. You say, oh, that's near my retirement. And then it's going to get less risky as it gets toward your retirement. And that sounds like a really good thing. But
let's talk about that.
But in practice, it hasn't worked out that way, has it?
Right. It's actually quite the anomaly to me. So let's say you're going to retire in 5 years. Okay. You're probably in a target retirement date 30 fund, 2030. Right. That means from this point forward, 2025, all the way to 2030, every year your portfolio is going to get more conservative, which means you're going to have more bonds because you're getting closer to your horizon and you're about to retire. But a lot of people think, okay, that's great. That's going to take all the risk off the table. And it's not the case. There's still tons of risk in those target retirement date funds. And the next question you have to ask yourself, if the markets grow for the next 3 years, is that really what you want to do? Right? If we're having turbulence, it makes sense. If we know for sure we're going to go into crash territory. No, I don't think any of us think that. I think we have growth in the market over the next 3 years. I think that we'll have some volatility along the way, but you have a 75% probability that the market will be higher at the end of next year than it is where it is. And that's every year. So target retirement date funds also have just fees that I don't appreciate. They're like 0.75 to 1.25. I've seen them as high as 1.5%. So they're doing nothing. They're just adding more bonds. And when interest rates go up, bond values go down. Right now, interest rates are going down. So bond values are going up. So it actually works well. But let's say you don't retire for 5 years, and 2 years from now, which will likely happen, interest rates will probably slowly go up. Then your bond values go down. You've almost lost everything that you made over those 2 years. So I call it a wash account sometimes. So target date funds you need to be very careful with. They sound great, but they're not that great. I'd rather you in those 401ks, you have a very small menu. That's the unfortunate part. Some of you might only have those, and which I feel for you, and I'm so sorry. But most of those companies do have target retirement date funds, and they have mutual funds, which you all know I'm not a big fan of mutual funds because they're heavy in fees and commissions. But when you're in a 401k, we still got to go with the best angle that you can get. And so we do encourage people to bring their 401k statements in from their employers. Let us help you pick the mutual funds. Let's get away from these target date funds because there's definitely more fees in there on average than not.
All right. Other things.
So that's one.
Other things that you have seen that sound good on the outside, but maybe not so good in practice.
I got one. I was just talking to somebody about it. Long-term care, literally just a couple of days ago, I was doing a workshop. And I get a little passionate and heated up. I can do that a little bit more in a workshop than I do on radio.
All right.
And we were talking about the long-term care section. I'm like, you're going to come into my office and you might want long-term care. And I'm going to talk you off the ledge because I was the firm that sold you John Hancock, Genworth, Mass Mutual, because, hey, if we're going to protect our homes and buy insurance, why aren't we protecting our finances and our health when we have to go into elder planning? Lo and behold, 20 years later, those premiums have doubled on some of my clients, or at least gone up at least 150%, which is higher. I'm thrown off by it because it doesn't make any sense to me that companies do that. We should have just dumped that money into a life insurance policy that guaranteed premiums never to go up and just accelerated the death benefit. So that's one of those smoke and mirror things that has not panned out for most people, and they wasted so much money. And I was just doing it and our team and all the advisors across the country, because we thought that you needed to protect your health care. But now that I know what I know and I'm using software that I've rejiggered, I will say 8 out of 10 people who come into my office, they don't even need to worry about long-term care. And so it just took me all these years to figure it out. And so sometimes things aren't quite what they seem to be, right, Randy?
Exactly. So, I mean, with my mom, that was the one bill at the end of the year that she just hated to pay. And I told her, that's the most important. Well, you're into it. You got to keep going. But it was $2,500, then it was $3,000, then $3,500, then $4,000. It would go up $500 a year. And sometimes they're going up a lot more. And what happens with people is they can't afford it anymore, and then they just cancel it. And then all that money that you've paid is down the tubes. So, all right, talking about things here that sound good on the outside, but maybe not so good as you put them into practice. Anything else that you can think of financially?
I mean, we can go into Social Security.
Okay.
Most people feel like they have to take Social Security at 62. Some other people out there feel like, we got to wait till age 70. And there's pros and cons to both of them, honestly. And you have to have a written plan to figure this out. You can't just guess. You can't just collect at 62 because your dad did, your neighbor Bubba did. You have to actually create a plan, because when you collect at 62, you are getting penalized. You're not getting 100% of what's entitled to you. So you're taking a shortcut to do that. And like Dave Ramsey says, take it early and then you can just reinvest it. Most people are not responsible enough to reinvest it. And then if the market goes down, then that did you no good. And if you live to age 85, you are better off waiting, because that's where the cash flow really comes in. Now, if you pass away at 75, you probably should have taken it at 62, be honest with you. But people are living longer than ever. And so the next one is age 70. So a lot of people come in like, hey, we're going to wait to age 70 to collect Social Security. And we'll put it in their plan. And I let them know, I'm like, why would we wait to 70? What if your health doesn't sustain and we pass away early? And we do ask those health questions because it's really important to know where they're at and what their parents went through. Because at age 67, that's when you get 100% of your Social Security benefit. If you delay taking Social Security at age 70, you do get an average of 7-8% a year. It brings in a bigger check. So somebody who has a pension and has all this cash flow, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? But let's just say that you and your spouse worked, you don't have a pension, you had maybe saved $500,000 and you just need more for later because somebody passes away early. You might want to reconsider a different plan. And so it's not cookie cutter, but I will say that there's mass confusion on when to collect Social Security, whether it's 62 or really should I wait till 67 or should I wait till 70? But on average, I don't advise people to wait till 70 anymore.
Yeah. You're listening to Retirement Coffee Talk with Sharice Rivers at Zinnia Wealth. This is one of the reasons I think it's really important to have a financial advisor in your life, because these things come up and you're going to hear some things, you're going to read some things, and you're going to say, I need somebody to bounce this off. And if you've got Sharice right there in your corner, it's just a phone call away. 833-368-3680 is our number, and you can go there and get a date on a calendar. Let's do the math on your retirement, as we say, and do what we call a portfolio x-ray. See what you've done for retirement, what it's going to mean for you in income, what it's going to mean for you in taxes. Let's get it figured out and down on paper. 833-368-3680, or just use our website, which is zinniawealth.com, ZINNIA wealth.com. There's a gold box there. It says complimentary retirement consultation. Click on that. You'll be on your way.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Coffee Talk podcast. If you have questions or would like to begin the process of building a tailored retirement plan, call Zinnia Wealth at 833-368-3680 or find us online at zinniawealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, a registered investment advisor. The firm only conducts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded from registration requirements. Registration is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Insurance products are offered through Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC, Florida license L078655, and Sharice Rivers, Florida license P037744. Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, and Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC are affiliated entities. The information presented is believed to be current. It should not be viewed as personalized investment advice. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of the presenter on the date of the podcast and are subject to change. The information presented is not an offer to buy or sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy or sell any of the securities discussed. You should consult with a professional advisor before implementing any of the strategies discussed. Any legal or tax information provided in this podcast is general in nature. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation. Any client experience discussed on this show are unique to that client. Annuity and life insurance guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. If you withdraw money from or surrender your contract within a certain time after investing, the insurance company may assess a surrender charge. Withdrawals may be subject to tax penalties and income taxes. Persons selling annuities or other insurance products receive compensation for these transactions. These commissions are separate and distinct from fees charged for advisory services. Insurance products also contain additional fees and expenses. Social Security rules and regulations are subject to change at any time. Always consult with your local Social Security office before acting upon any information provided herein. References to specific investments should not be construed as being past specific recommendations. The returns for various indices discussed in this podcast do not represent the performance of the firm or any of its advisory clients. Returns do not reflect the impact that advisory fees will have on an investment. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All investment strategies have potential for profit or loss. Different types of investments involve higher and lower levels of risk. There is no guarantee that a specific investment strategy will be suitable or profitable for an investor's portfolio. Historical performance returns for investment indexes and or categories usually do not deduct transaction and or custodial charges or advisory fees, which would decrease historical performance results. There are no guarantees that a portfolio will match or outperform a specific benchmark. Investments in fixed income products are subject to liquidity risk, market risk, index rate risk, credit risk, inflation risk, purchasing power risk, and taxation risk. Because bond prices fluctuate continually, their yields change constantly.